Okay, let's give you guys some more practice. So similar to the previous video, I'm going to give you an equation. Your job is to sketch it. So let's say x to the power 3 plus 2. So sketch this. So press pause and have a go. So in your mind, sketch y equals x to the power 3. So y equals x to the power 3 looks something like this. And then when you add 2, you move everything up by 2. So this point here, the origin, gets moved up to by 2, this moves up by 2, this moves up by 2. So when you come to sketch it, it will look something like this. And then label this as positive 2. That's this 2 here. So your final answer will be this. Okay, so next one. So y equals x. Y equals negative x to the power 3. So press pause and have a go. Okay, so x to the power 3, y equals x to the power 3 will look like this. And then if you have a negative x to the power 3, it's the upside down version of this. So imagine this is 2 and it's 8. Up here will be 8. But then if you stick a negative, so this block will be 8, and then if you stick a negative, it will be negative 8. So this point here will move down to here. The origin, well, at the origin, if you put 0 into x to the power 3, the whole thing here will be 0. So negative 0 will still be 0. So this origin here doesn't change, it stays there. And then if you look at this point here is normally negative 8 when it's at negative 2. If you put negative 2 into here, it will jump to negative 8. But then so this point here would be negative 8. But then, so normally x to the power 3 would be negative 8. But because you've got a negative here, that would make it a positive 8. So this point here will be positive 8. It will get moved up to here. So your graph will look something like this. So y equals negative x to the power 3 will look something like this. Okay, so this is your final answer here. Okay, next one. Y equals x to the power 3 minus 5. So press pause and have a go. Okay, so it will look like this. It will look something like this. Hang on, it will look something like this. So this thing here will be negative 5 because x to the power 3 will look like this. And when you take away 5, you move everything down by 5. So it will look like this. Okay, so this is your final answer. So next one, y equals negative x to the power 3 take away 4. So press pause and have a go. Okay, so to do this, picture negative x to the power 3, which will look something like this. Which will look something like this. And then you've got to drag everything down by 4. So move this origin down by 4, move this bit down by 4, move this bit down by 4. So overall your graph will look something like this. Okay, so hang on. So overall your final answer will look something like this. And then label this as negative 4. Okay, so this equation here will give you this graph looking something like this. Okay, next one here. Y equals, let's say, x plus 5. So sketch this. Okay, so it will look well, first to sketch this, you would draw y equals x, which looks like this. So this is y equals x. And then plus 5. So you drag everything up by 5. So overall, your graph will look like this. So overall, your graph will look like this. This will be 5. And by the way, in the past, we would say an equation of a straight line is given by y equals mx plus c. And then if you look at our equation here is y equals x plus 5. So you can see here the gradient is 1. here the gradient is 1. So when you look at y equals x, the gradient is 1. When you look at y equals x, the steepness here is 1. So that's why this m here has this 1 here is your gradient, and your intercept is 5. This is your intercept. So there are two ways of sketching this. You can just imagine y equals x, which looks like this, and then drag up everything by 5, or you can imagine it like this, where the intercept is 5, and the gradient is 1. So it will look like this. Both of these graphs are the same. So let's start again here. So y equals x plus 5. So when you do this, you can use whichever method you want. But for us, start out with y equals x, which looks like this, and then drag everything up by 5. So your overall graph will look something like this, and label this as 5, and it has a gradient of 1. Okay.